Alright. So before I took a video itself, I thought I uploaded this video last week. Apparently it was not uploaded. I thought it was. So we're going to discuss this again. This matter of fact, I did do the video this last week. I know I recorded a video. Except I thought I uploaded. Apparently it's not much on my stuff, which is kind of weird. So we're discussing the beginning after the end. Episode 7. Again, mind you, we're discussing the first episode of Season 2 for the show. By the way, with this particular month, this week basically for shows, it's interesting though, this is actually one of the 4 shows basically I review. This is one of 2 where I started the show last year bench watching. Yeah, though the Cage Chain Soldier, which I'll discuss next, that one basically was already still airing for dub-wise when I would catch up with it. This one had already finished. Now, also beginning after the end, I have heard basically people were not particularly quite happy with the animation with the show. I don't have a problem with that. People were like very disappointed with it. And the reception toward the first season show is that they felt the show was botched. And they thought they did a terrible job of animation. Adaptation-wise, I think they did a pretty good job adapting the webtoon, but it's just the animation they had a problem with. I didn't think the animation was terrible. I thought it was actually pretty good. So, yeah, we're discussing the first episode of the season. So, we started up with Arthur, Jasmine, and Sylvie. Sylvie's a little creature that Arthur made in the previous season of the show. So, they get him assigned by the guild for the very first time in his ventures to go find this monster that's freezing people. And they find the monster in the village. Of course, they find a little girl, like, they come across the village, and of course, the monster is basically a giant spider. Which is why Jasmine has to flee. And then, of course, Arthur, and then she gets frozen, so Arthur ends up fighting the creature. Yes, Arthur fights it. And after, it's mentioned in the episode, like, swords have no effect against it. Maggots are using apparently is like you had to use a special type of elemental stuff to break the shell and then shock it from the inside. Eventually he's able to beat it by chopping its head off. And then Sylvie proceeds to eat the core after she was doing something else. Everybody's freed. Jasmine chastises for it, but then Corey takes the head back as proof of the fact he beat the damn thing. Kind of hurt the core, but he did bring back the head, which is petrified. And there was one member is basically of the guild, where one of the Adventures, the Young Adventures, who the million at first like, okay, I'll let you have this time. And then, of course, he goes home. His mother is not particularly happy. He took on his monster. He's supposed to take care of himself. He's fine. And I kind of forgot to mention the Comic Like a Beard that this actually was another show she's in that just happened to have a season 2 come up. I kind of forgot she was in it. Like, I did remember she's in that kind of stuff. I don't know when her character's going back in the season, but I'm sure she's going back. Of course, it's One Piece, obviously. I kind of forgot about this one. But I don't know if she actually remembers doing this one per se, because she does tons of anime. It's not one of those anime that she would talk about per se. She'll never talk about the Democrat Slime, One Piece, Fairy Tail. This one, probably not. In the case of when I talked to her about one of the things that I was saying, which was Aris Gamma, which was the character who was descendant of Joan of Arc, she didn't remember the show. Honestly, she did not remember it at all. Now, I did ask the same question with Ty Habercorn. Does he remember the show? He does. He does remember R.S. Ammo, which I'll get to that in a minute. We'll talk to something really interesting that was announced for that one. So, then, of course, after the chastising, he goes back out adventuring, and then the episode ends with Telsia make an appearance here, and basically teasing a role for the very next episode, which aired just today. I will discuss that probably later, probably after I do my next 3 anime. Now, next course we'll be discussing is going to be Chain Soldier, and then a Comic Corner, and then basically it's on to Reborn to the Machine. Excuse me. So yeah, that's pretty much the particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up, Chain Soldier. Bye.